Hi people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for part 3 of my favorite books with Alo Ace main characters. First of all, happy Pride Month, and second of all, in case you want some more recommendations, I have linked in the description box below parts 1 and 2, in case you haven't seen those videos already. But anyway, the first book on this list is called Forward March. This book is a YA contemporary following a young asexual lesbian who's navigating her senior year, the fact that her dad's running for president, the fact that her mom's her school dean, a new crush, and her sexuality, all in one go. We love to see it. This book is absolutely so good. First of all, the asexual lesbian representation was so lovely and absolutely so wonderful. The sapphic romance was so well developed and I really enjoyed it. The plot was so intriguing and absolutely so well done. The world building and the characters were literally so well developed and so distinct. This book is literally so good and it's worth all of its hype and so much more. So with that, I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Arden Grey. This book is a YA contemporary following a young, asexual sapphic main character as she navigates the fact that her relationship with her absent mom might have been abusive, a new romance, as well as friendship issues. This book is absolutely so good, and honestly, it was one of my 5-star favorites from this year because I absolutely loved it. First of all, the portrayal of an abusive mother-daughter relationship I felt like was so authentic and absolutely so realistic, but yeah, there is a trigger warning on this book for that, so take that as you will. The plot was so intriguing and absolutely so thrilling, and it truly kept me on my toes. Like, the sapphic romance was so lovely and absolutely so well developed and so wonderful. The healthy family dynamics were so lovely and so well done. Like, the relationship between the main character and her dad, or the main character and her brother, were literally so lovely. This book is absolutely so well done, and the queer representation was so lovely and absolutely so great. So anyway, with all of that said, this book is so awesome, and I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Every Bird a Prince. This book is a middle grade contemporary following a young, aromantic main character, and her quest to save a forest kingdom is intertwined with her aromantic identity. This book is absolutely so good, and it's so underrated. First of all, the aromantic representation was so lovely, and it truly felt so authentic, and I think that there needs to be more stories for middle schoolers that talk about this, because I don't want anybody to think that they are too young to figure out their identity, no matter what their queer identities might be. You know what I mean? Like, literally, this book is so good, but even aside from the lovely queer representation, the plot was absolutely so intriguing and so well done. The world building was so amazing, the characters were so well developed and so authentic and absolutely so distinct, and the friendships were so lovely and so wonderful. This book is so good, and it's so necessary, and it's absolutely so timely, and like I mentioned, it's so underrated. This book is so good, and it deserves so much more hype. So with that, I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called At the End of Everything. This book is a YA science fiction story that follows 3 main characters, one of which is Alo Ace, another one is non-binary, and the third one is autistic, as basically they were left behind to die at a juvenile detention center during a plague, which really parallels to real life because people in prisons are often not thought about during a pandemic. You know what I mean? Anyway, this book is literally so good, and it's absolutely so fantastic, and it's so underrated. First of all, the 3 main characters are all so well developed and so distinct. The queer representation and the autism representation is literally so lovely, and it's so wonderful, and I really enjoyed it. The plot was so intriguing and absolutely so thrilling. The world building was so well done and so well developed. This book is literally so good, and I would say that it's the best by the author so far, and I'm so excited to read more from them because this book really exceeded my expectations, because literally this book is so good, and like I mentioned, it's so underrated. So please go read it, and please give it the hype that it absolutely deserves. So anyway, with all that said, I would highly recommend this book. The last book on this list, and certainly not the least, because this book is another 5-star favorite from this year, and it is Fire Becomes Her. This book is a YA 1920s inspired fantasy following a young, aromantic, bisexual main character as she chooses between her head and her heart in an election year where magic buys votes. This book is absolutely so fantastic, and I absolutely loved it so much. First of all, the queer representation was so authentic, and it felt so natural and so well developed, and the QPR relationship was so lovely, and it was so well developed, and I really enjoyed it. The plot was so intriguing, and it was absolutely so thrilling, and the world building was so well done, and so well developed. This book is so amazing, and it's so awesome in every single element, but especially in the queer representation, because this book is so authentic, and it's literally so well done. Like the world building, the characters, the friendships, the found family, the QPR. This book is absolutely so fantastic, and I absolutely loved it because it's so good. This book is so good, and it's so underrated, and it deserves so much more hype. So with that, I would highly, highly recommend it. So, in conclusion, first of all ALA's people, no matter where you fall on the spectrum, are loved, valued, and accepted in my book. So happy Pride Month. Second of all, in case you want some more ALA's book recommendations, I have a link to some videos that I've made in the past in the description box below. Third of all, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the blueberry emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Happy Pride!